Good morning, guys, and welcome back to another episode of 2.0's Classic Fishing Channel with me, Austin Rose. Today, we're going to be spider rigging, showing you guys how tight lines work. We're going to be showing you the jigs we're using, the Bobby Garlands. We're going to be showing you the weights, the speeds, everything like that. Hopefully, we're going to get out there and catch some crappie, bring them back, and cook them up nice.
I think these fish are a little bit shallower this morning. This water is 2 degrees warmer than it was the other morning. We had a warm front come through. He's a legal fish, but he's still just a little bit too small. And that's fish on every pole now. So we've grand slammed out today. 4 fish, 4 poles. Goodness. And I see that's just on a jig. He just blasted that. And that one right there did too, but we got him. And that one over there, I'm gonna work this. But this ain't a big fish, I don't believe. I think he's a keeper fish, but we're not gonna keep him. We're looking for bigger. We've got these fish figured out. That's why I've only got 4 poles out here. There's another one. That's a good fish right there, boy. That is a good fish right there. Yes, sir. That's a dandy right there. We're gonna put him in. He's going in the bait tank. Tell you what, he came on that turn. I'm telling you. Sometimes you get that speed going a little bit faster. They might be following it, and as soon as you go in that turn, and that bait starts to lift and run away from them. You're gonna put a dandy like that right there. That's a good fish. Women fishing and. Yep. Oh yeah. I got a pig. Well, he's not a pig. He looks like a pig, but he felt like a pig, but he ain't a pig. But he hit live minnow, that color, and No, the live minnow, the gray on gray. Yeah, he's about a 9-inch fish. He's fat, but he's good Lord, I got another one here. That's another one. Oh, live minnow again. This one feels like he's fighting. Oh yeah, that's a pig right there. Now, that's a good fish. Yeah, you need to get over here. That's a keeper fish. That's a 10-11 incher. I'm gonna keep 4 fish today. That's what I'm gonna do. And that's fish number. I think that's fish number 8, 7. I think maybe 8. House, I turned around. Now I don't know if that was a fish. Do you see me, Kenny? Do you see me catching the fish? You can't see me. You don't see that? He's shining. He's legal, but he's still. He's probably like 9.5. He choked him in a. I mean, he flat out choked him. That was on double silver. He's got another minnow in his mouth. Oh, there he is. There he is. Gotta get him up so I can. Ah! My daggum reel released. No, the daggum thing released and just backlashed on me. Yeah. Well, yeah, I wasn't worried about the fish. He ain't a keeper no ways, but the reel backlashed on me real bad. I don't see any holes in this fish's mouth, so this fish I don't think's been caught. But as I was saying, presentation is key. I'm using that 32nd ounce. There he is. 4th time's a charm, huh? He ain't a big one. He's a little guy. That's why we were struggling with him. He was trying to get that minnow in his mouth for everything he had. I think that's fish number 11 right there. Now I'll get the GoPro back on here in a minute, but that's a nice little fish, guys. That's about an 8-inch fish. He's just legal. But we're not gonna keep him. We're gonna let him go. We're ready to go. Oh, that was cute. Get fish out of that. Yeah, there he is. He was coming away with it. That's fish number 12 right there. Let's see what he looks like. That's a decent fish right there, guys. Now that is big. That's a bigger fish. We're gonna keep him. We're gonna cull another one. He is that's that live minnow again. I'll be darned. Just fixed that rod, guys. Well, thought I just fixed that rod. The sinker had to come over the swivel there, but let's see what he is. Oh yeah, that's an 11-inch fish right there. But he's thick. Let's see here. Which one do we want to let go? We'll let him go. Let that one right there go. And see there, car fish as I'm getting it. That's called karma, guys. Now, he ain't a big one, and I'm gonna let him go probably. But that's karma. You know. Let a fish go. I have a feeling he was on that for a little bit longer than we thought. Just because I don't see that doing nowhere, but that's a 9.5-inch fish. Good black crappie. He's already on it again, guys. We got him that time. There's 14. That's not a little fish. That is a bigger fish right there. Oh, that's good. We might have to weigh him. That might be a keeper. Man, liking this double silver rainbow. I might one pole it for the last fish. I don't know. I'm gonna toss him in the live well just for a second. These fish, they're staying alive in there, so don't worry. They're not in trouble or anything. They got fresh water coming in. There's 15, guys. That was a very subtle fish. That fish barely touched it. But he ain't a keeper. But that's on that devil's green, guys. That's the first fish on that color. That's a pretty fish right there, too. Nice black crappie. About a 9-inch fish. And this is why you don't use all your minnows all the time. And there's another one, guys. That's good as God Almighty. That's 17. That's on electric chicken. Oh, he's trying to fight. He ain't keeping me with it. We'll let him go. Got a nice big old mouth on him. That's number 17. Within a minute of each other. There's 18, guys. And there's not. Oh, I missed him. Missed him. That was on that devil's grin. That's a pretty fish right here, guys. I'm gonna turn this back on so I can get some film of me. Get these little guys. We must be going over soon. And actually, he's not bad. He came back for it, guys. That's a double. That fish came back for that. Now, you gotta be careful with these 14 footers. Because, as tough as they may be, flipping a fish is not an easy task. Look at that right there, guys. He punished that little jig. And that jig's gonna make the wall. That's about a 9-inch fish. We just got him off first just so we could look at this other one for a second, because he's a little bit bigger. I might want to look at him for a second. Might measure him. He's a dandy. He's a long fish. He's over 10. But I don't think he's going to have the weight that we want. He's a pretty fish though. Let's watch him go. Here he goes. All the way back down. They'll tell you friends. But when it comes to this right here, I have, you can ask my wife, I have fooled with this box for a very long time. I have collected these colors for a very long time. Some of them I can't even find no more, like this sunset. If any of y'all ever find this sunset, give me a holler. I'll bring you out here and we'll tear them up. But I need a pack of them sunset jigs first. Got him. Oh. Double. Now what? We're just going to have to set him down. I know he might come off, but hopefully he won't. Hopefully I hooked him where that's 20 and 21 right there. They're both legal, but we're not going to keep them. They got a little mound on them, so I won't. And this one that hit on this live minnow was very subtle. I don't know if you guys can see it. He didn't hit like a ton of bricks. He tore that jig to pieces. I might have to replace that one. And I probably will here soon. Woo! He still got some fight in him, boy. Not a big fish, but he got a lot of fight. I give it to him. He's got some kick on him. That's a pretty fish right there, guys. I don't know if I got my video running or not, but that's a beautiful fish. And you wouldn't think that there'd be two fish sitting right there back to back next to each other. I want y'all to look at that fish right there. That is a dandy. Got a little bit of scarring right there. Maybe something tried to get a bite at him when he was younger. That is a beautiful black Crappie. Watch him go. He's gone. As soon as he hit the water, he's gone. Good fish. Oh man, barely missed that one. That's that double silver rainbow. I'm about to have to replace this jig. This jig's getting wore out. I'm telling you. I'm gonna have to fix that one here in just a minute. Probably after we pick up and get ready to move, I'm gonna fix that one. Oh, got him, guys. Got that fish. Trying to keep him out of that other line. Oh, he's a little guy. But he liked that devil's grin. That's a good color right there, guys. It's these colors, these subtle colors you'd never think, you know. Electric chicken, devil's grin, that's a beautiful fish right there. Look how white that crappie is. Now I know that you think that's probably a white crappie, but that's a black crappie. You can tell. Now I'm a wildlife and fisheries student at Clemson University. I'm gonna tell you right now, I don't care nothing about the football team, so don't even start, because that's the last thing I go to that school for. In fisheries, they have taught us about black and white crappie. Black crappie have 7 hard dorsal spines. 7. White crappie do not. White crappie have 5 to 6. White crappie also have vertical barring along their body. Black crappie do not. Black crappie have this more spotted tail, spotted fins, and in the darker fish in spawning time, they get really dark spots along their body right here. So that's how you can tell the difference between them two fish. We're gonna let him go. Let that go for this shit die. Oh my God, that's 23. He's playing. Not a big fish, but he's fire that sucker. Come here, you. Ah! Double silver rainbow.
Hey guys, now we're in the kitchen, and I know it looks a little bit messy, but I didn't have time to clean it before we could really get into the nitty-gritty. So I have our crappie fillets here that we caught today. I got them all filleted up. I'm just going to show you guys a couple different breadings you can use, a couple different spices you can use, stuff that'll fool your kids, stuff that'll fool your wife, stuff that you might not even thought about to try before. But the first things first, for me, I've always got to have milk to soak the fish in. I don't ever want to have, you know, that fishy taste in my fish. Now some fish is okay. I don't do this with striped bass. I don't do this with largemouth. I don't do this with catfish. But for crappie, I always soak it in either buttermilk. If I don't have buttermilk, I'm going to do 2%. And we're going to let that sit for a while we talk about some of the breadings and seasonings you can use. So we're going to start off with the seasonings. If you want to fool your kids, the easiest way to do this is to get some kind of chicken seasoning, something like a kicking chicken or applewood rub or something like that. I'm not going to use any of that today, but that is something that if you have ever thought about, you know, my grandparents did it to me. They tricked me into eating fish for the first time. They said, man, this is chicken, you're going to love this. And I was just like, oh man, this is so good. I love this. This food is amazing. When they told me it's fish, of course, I'm like, oh, I can't believe I'm eating fish. But you know, I'm very thankful that I did, because I really have a taste for it now. What I'm going to use today is probably this Old Bay here. Old Bay is something that, you know, you can use on any kind of chicken, fish, seafood at all. It's one of my favorite tasting seasonings. I take it especially when I go trout fishing. I make sure I always have a can of Old Bay with me. You could also do something more like the New Orleans Cajun, something that gives it a little more kick. For me, I enjoy a little more kick in mine. That's why I always eat my fish with hot sauce, as you're going to see here in a little bit. But we're going to go on to the breadings now. So you have all different kinds of breadings to choose from. I like Louisiana Cajun, New Orleans style. I like the McCormick's, the Cajun, and the beer batter. The beer batter is delicious, but you do have to mix it with water to make almost like a paste. And it is good, but you have to have that kind of, it's an acquired taste, I want to say. It's not something that, you know, if you've never tried it, you know, you kind of want to wean yourself into it. You don't want to start off jumping in, you know. You want to start off with a heavier breading. And for me today, I'm just going to use this House Ultra chicken seasoned breaded mix. I mean, if you like fried chicken, then you'll enjoy this breading mix. And it's something that, for me, it makes the fish crispier. It kind of makes it holds the juices in a little bit longer than something like beer batter maybe. Beer batter is the juiciest you can get. But the Cajun, the Cajun breadings, they can almost dry out if you overcook them. So we're going to use this right here. So what I'm going to do, I have my little pan here with just a little bit in there. You don't need to overdo it if you're not going to cook a lot of fish. You don't want to waste anything. That's something that we don't do here. We don't waste. So after it's soaked for a little bit, you want to get your fryer going. If you have a deep fryer, luckily for me, I do. I have a little deep fryer here. What you're going to do is you're going to take your fish that's been soaking in the milk. You can soak it however long you want. You can soak it for 30 minutes. You can soak it for an hour. You can soak it for 5 seconds. It doesn't matter. It just depends on how much of that taste you really want to get. I don't mind it that bad, but you definitely want it to be wet so it'll catch that breading. So I'm just gonna drop a couple pieces in here. And now after I drop them in, I'm gonna hit it with the Old Bay. So we're just gonna lightly get that on one side, and I don't need to get it on both sides. Old Bay's pretty. You can taste it. I mean, this isn't something that you're gonna say, "Oh my God, it's overpowering," because it's really not. And then I'm just gonna shake it up a little bit. I don't want to stick my fingers back in there because the breading's gonna get on my fingers, and with the milk on my fingers, it's gonna stick to it and make it it's gonna make a paste on my fingers, and then I have to wash it back off. So I have a dry hand and I have a wet hand. And so now I have this right here. This looks really good. I'm gonna drop it in the fryer. All right, that's 3 pieces. Let's drop 3 more. I'm gonna put them in the breading there. And now your sides, you know what kind of sides you like. If you like fries, if you like corn, if you like mac and cheese, it's all depending on what you like. For me today, I'm gonna have mac and cheese and corn. That's just something that I really enjoy in my fish, or with my fish. I'm sorry. Sometimes peas, carrots, mashed potatoes. It doesn't really matter. Just whatever you like. But I don't think anything gets better than fresh caught crappie, especially for lunch, dinner. It doesn't matter what time of day it is for me. I'm gonna eat this fish. So here's 3 more going in the fryer. All right, we're gonna drop it now. We're gonna let that sit. And you can try to save your fry mix. I don't particularly try to save mine. I can go with or without it. It's not a big deal to save it to me. It's just something that, if you want to and you're tight on money, you can do it. But we're gonna let those fry for a little bit. We're gonna come right back as soon as they're plated, and then we're gonna show you what the results look like. All right, guys, it's time. We have these beautifully golden brown crappie nuggets. I definitely want to recommend using hot sauce if you've never tried it before. I love eating my fish with hot sauce. It definitely gives it a different kind of taste to it. And if you guys ever are curious about your fish in the fryer, just let it float. As soon as it starts to float, you can pull it out. It's safe to eat. So if you guys have any questions for me, this has been 2.0's Classic Fishing Channel. See you next time.